The greatest moment in his life was meeting yours truly. The second, appearing on the very first episode of Red Eye. The third, obviously, that weekend we spent at that lovely B&B in Cape Cod. Terrific. But the fourth is the new release of his new book. Andrew Breitbart's awesome new tome came out last week. It's called Righteous Indignation. Excuse me while I save the world. Andrew has been with us all night, so as a reward, let's give him a chance to sell a bunch of copies. Andrew, first, congratulations. Isn't it like in the top 10 of Amazon?
Yes, it is, Greg. Because I've been on a jam-packed, energetic tour.
Yes,
clearly.
Book. You have. Yes. I could tell you're very excited over this.
Yes.
Yeah. You didn't ask me to write a blurb for the book. Any reason why?
All I want to do is please you. The book's tentative title was "What Would Greg Do?"
Oh.
And so I'm just afraid of you rejecting me.
Oh, I would never do such a thing. You know who almost rejected you? MSNBC. I watched. You were on with Martin Bashir today. First off, I didn't even know the guy had a show.
All I am is a light-hearted physical comedian, and look how he treats me.
I know. Let's just show that.
Does he have a show? Nothing wrong with having. If you've read through my entire book, you didn't read my book. Media Matters read it for you. Every single thing.
I've marked it out. I've read the whole thing.
Every single point that you've offered is straight out of George Soros's funded and John Podesta's led Media Matters.
He looked a lot. You know what I thought for a minute? I thought it was Fred Armisen pretending to be Martin Bashir.
Yeah.
You know? But he did a terrible job of being Martin Bashir.
He was cuddly, and at the very end, I just took him and I took him home.
I was going to ask you, after that was a contentious 14-minute interview where he pretty much bullied you. He had an agenda, and you just kept pointing it out that he had an agenda.
No. I was interviewed in the morning by David Schuster, who was fired by MSNBC, who was outraged that Dylan Ratigan was nice to me yesterday and respectful. So there was revenge in the air in the halls of MSNBC when I walked in. In fact, somebody took me aside and said, I heard them talking. They were pissed off that Dylan Ratigan didn't beat you up. So I was completely expecting this. But the funny thing is if anybody analyzes David Schuster's interview with me this morning, and this interview with Martin Bashir, it was the exact same questions.
Yeah.
The same exact obscure questions. They came directly from Media Matters. Media Matters works directly with them.
Well, the thing is that what MSNBC doesn't understand is that we also I get the press releases from Media Matters every day.
I love it.
And it is exactly what you see on they take it and they literally
No. When the previous time I was on MSNBC, this is how they did it. David Schuster interviewed me, and this was during the James O'Keefe arrest down in New Orleans, and they called it Watergate Jr.
Yeah.
They created graphics for it, and David Schuster flew down to do a vigil at the courtroom, and then they found out that there was no attempted wiretap and the thing completely fizzled. They had me on. I told David Schuster, you're going to have to retract that. He goes, you're going to have to retract that. He retracted on air. I leave. I was victorious. I got MSNBC to retract on the air. I leave. I look up, and there's Eric Bullard from Media Matters. The level of coordination between the White House and MSNBC and Media Matters, it's absolute.
Well, speaking, I want to throw to a piece of tape, my favorite tape of the day. You brought up James O'Keefe. Look, I want you to analyze his dancing skills.
We need a bit of action that will give this the traction. As a matter of faction, what you bring we can't get down. It gives us satisfaction when you take civil action. We'll go out and attack them, investigate and hit the ground.
Andrew, how does that help the conservative movement?
I liked it. I liked it.
You couldn't have liked that.
Of course I did.
You're just being polite.
Look, I like our truth. Naked. Okay.
Yeah.
So I have a different type of taste.
You got to watch that whole video, and if you can keep a straight face in that,
I don't think you're supposed to, take it.
So you think it's a parody of a video?
I think it's kind of fun. It's like a thriller meets Hot for Teacher meets
dorky guys.
It's a
Roger Rabbit was made for khakis.
T.J. Hooker-esque. I loved it.
What is? How do you go about expanding the conservative movement's appeal?
I don't know. Destroy the left.
Yeah.
I mean, that's been my technique.
Yeah, but
people say we're polarized, Greg.
Yeah, but the good thing about you, Andrew, and I always say this, is you're a teddy bear in real life. Do you actually enjoy doing what you're doing, and people mistake it for being angry, which I find funny.
I don't like political correctness. I mean, it really pisses me off. Like in a country where black people who are conservative are called Uncle Toms, where every time I was on Joy Behar's show last night, and she and Stephanie Miller were on. Yeah. And whenever you say something like, "What do you think about the Wall Street?" Yeah, maybe there needs to be regulation, maybe not. Racist. Yeah. Racist. I consider them to be bullies, and I hate bullies. It's like I'm pretty much a one-trick pony in that. If I see a bully, I go after it relentlessly.
Mm-hmm. What's your plan forward for the future? What's next? More websites? More, I don't know,
I came up with
sketch comedy?
I'm not kidding you. I came up with a website that I am going to plan, and I wanted to use your merrymen who are out, traveling between LA and New York. This would be my first foray into non-political websites. CelebritieSwhoFlyCoach.com.
Oh, that's...
I own the URL. Don't try and buy it.
Unless you have a lot of money, and then you can negotiate.
You know how I came up with it? I came up with it on the tarmac at LAX when I found out through 5 minutes of excruciating conversation where I realized I had nothing in common with him. He said I work at a PC magazine. I'm like, oh, I have a Mac. I do gaming. I don't play video games. And then he says, I said, what were you doing in LA? And he said, I was at a music convention. I said, oh, why would you be at that? He goes, I'm in the rock industry as well. At what level? He says, I'm the lead singer of Blue Oyster Cult. I was like, oh, yes! Oh, my God! I can't wait to land in New York to tell people.
Times are tough in the music business. I got one for you. I was sitting next to Buster Poindexter, former lead singer.
David Johansen?
Yeah, David Johansen. He was writing coach with the entire band.
Is it the best
and it was
idea in the world?
Yeah, it was. Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, I wish I'd taken a picture.
Juliet Lewis sitting behind me in coach.
Margaret Cho sat next to me and my wife, and she watched the entire Flava Flav Brigitte Nielsen thing the entire way.
We gotta move on. That's a great idea.
Good idea.
Can I just tell you that's a better idea than the book you have right now?
I know.
Could we do another interview segment just on this?
Platform to be able to have an opportunity to go from Bashir, which I mentioned it, in the middle of this contentious battle. I dropped it.
I love it. I love it. Nice. All right, the name of Andrew Breitbart's new book is called Righteous Indignation. It's wonderful. He says nice things about me in the book, and for that alone, you should buy it.
For tonight.
Tonight, the award goes to a piece of crap named Jack Stuff, who blogs at Wonkette, a blog for people who are also pieces of crap. See, Wednesday was Trig Palin's birthday, so clever Jack writes about Sarah's child thusly. What's he dreaming about? Nothing. He's retarded. His mom went to a lot of trouble to leak amniotic fluid over 8 states to make sure that he arrived in this world somewhat alive. Wow, there's actually another line that's worse and insinuates rape and incest, but we're not going to go there. But we can already hear your excuse, Jack. See, Sarah had, used Trig as a prop while running for office, which means her kid deserves your petulant wrath. Which means, of course, that any woman who runs for office better not have a kid in tow, or the brat is yours to trash. And who cares if he has Down syndrome? Brave Jack is going to make fun of your, quote, retarded kid, because that's edgy and in-your-face blogging at its best. Did you know that Jack's from Brooklyn and hairy? Yep, he shoots pool and drinks Pabst and makes fun of disabled kids. But only Palin's, because if he did it to anyone else, he'd be ostracized by his friends who think and smell just like him. Of course, he doesn't have much experience, I'm sure, with disabled people, and he's still pretty young, so he has no real sense of suffering. But wait, here's a picture of him. Well, maybe he does know suffering. God, what a hideous, pathetic tool.
That does it for today's adventure. If you're new here, please subscribe. Take it one step further and ring that notification bell. And if you enjoyed today's video, please give it a big old like and a thumbs up. It lets me know you care. I'll see you in the next video. Right on.